moving on to Azure Policy. So something that's well worth looking at if you've not explored it. It's a way of, as it says there, enforcing standards and assessing compliance across your environment. So it's something that's been growing rapidly over the last sort of year to 18 months. I checked earlier on this week, there's now over 1,200, I've called them sample policies, there's 1,200 policies there available in the portal for you to use, and they can be used across a whole range of different technologies and scenarios within Azure. You can also create custom policies if there's something you need to do that's not covered by anything else, and that can either be done by editing a existing one or creating a new one from scratch. They're basically authored in JSON language. There's a pretty good resource now on Microsoft website around how to do that. And there's also a large sort of community contribution on places like GitHub with custom policies that you can look at. Essentially, policies can be used for a variety of actions, which are on the slide there. So you've got different options. You can audit certain resources against a configuration to see if they're in line with that policy definition or not, or you could actually prevent resources from being deployed unless they meet certain criteria. So typically on that sort of scenario, we would deploy policies to, say, restrict resources being deployed to certain Azure regions. So you may have regulatory reasons that you need to keep all your data and resources within the UK regions, for example. So you could create a policy that would deny the creation of resources in any other regions apart from UK South and UK West. You've also got options to do things such as deploy if not exist as another action. So you could say that if there's a virtual machine that hasn't got the monitoring extension on, then deploy the monitoring extension and connect it to a specific log analytics workspace to make sure that you're getting that monitoring data for everything within your environment. So very powerful. There's a lot you can do with it. Recommend having a look at it if you haven't already. For sort of ease of management, Microsoft recommend combining individual policies into what they call initiatives. So it's really just a container that you can bundle multiple policies into, and then those can be applied at either a management group level, subscription, resource group, or individual resource if you want to. I'd recommend sort of having them fairly high level rather than right down at individual resource levels, but definitely something you can look at. And if you want to alert on non-compliance, if you're running a policy in audit mode and certain resources don't meet the compliance of that policy, will actually be written to the Azure Activity Log, and you can create an alert from that to go through to your email or help desk system, so that you're aware of that and then can remediate. So very useful. Recommend looking at that.